Good morning, everybody. I'm Mohammed Asmal. I'm a product manager here at CaseWare Africa. And today I am happy to introduce to you your artificial intelligence digital assistant in CaseWare called AiDA. We are so excited about the early release of this product, and I'm so excited to show you what it can do. In terms of how I envisage running this webinar, we will talk a little about AI in general. We will introduce AiDA so you understand our vision. We will help you understand the risks to consider when using AI in your firms and in your environment. We will explain how AiDA protects you from those risks. We will then do a demo of AiDA and then take you through the upcoming roadmap for AiDA. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence refers to computer systems that mimic human intelligence. According to the technopreneurs, some AI models are smarter than almost all graduate students in all disciplines simultaneously. So AI is becoming a force that we really can't ignore. The important part, I think, from the high level, AI is made up of three major capabilities. One being natural language processing. That's when AI understands and generates human language. That's the current focus for us in terms of providing AI to you through a chatbot. Then AI is also broken up into machine learning and automation. Today we won't be covering that. But why exactly is this useful? Because AI is changing some industries fundamentally. So if you look at the healthcare space, there's multiple programs out there, but doctors are using it for medical imaging to detect critical conditions much earlier than before. It also assists doctors by summarizing patient records, suggesting diagnoses, and helping with treatment planning. In the legal space, JP Morgan Chase has already implemented AI to analyze legal documents, and it takes AI seconds, a task that used to take lawyers in excess of 360,000 hours annually. Insurance space, retail space, manufacturing, transportation, agriculture, there's all seeing benefits with AI. And today we're going to show you the benefits that you can receive through AiDA in the finance space. So, what is AiDA? On screen is a picture of AiDA, our dear little AI assistant. You interact with her through chats, so she's a typical chatbot. The name AiDA is inspired by Ida Lovelace, a pioneer of computer science, and she was considered the world's first computer programmer. And it also conveniently stands for AI Digital Assistant. AiDA is available across all CaseWare Cloud products from the 2024 Working Papers releases. What that means, it can be found in all cloud apps, in all Working Papers files, in a hybrid environment only. So standalone Working Papers that are not connected to cloud, unfortunately, won't be able to use AiDA. And we also give AiDA to you as a standalone browser version. What's really nice about AiDA is that it is context aware. So for anybody that's used the chatbot before, you know that you have to upload your document and then it will read the document. With AiDA, what happens is it can essentially see and understand your screen. And by virtue of that, it's much easier to interact with the AI. We do use, AiDA uses Anthropic's Claude 3, Haiku, and Sonnet models. These are very, very capable models. AiDA is specifically built to be fit for purpose, meaning its design ensures it focuses solely on audit and accounting matters. It'll politely inform users if a query falls outside its defined scope or ask for clarification if a prompt is vague. So we designed it especially for accountants and auditors. If you're going to ask it what I'm going to cook for supper tonight, it's really not going to be helpful. But if you ask it standard related questions, it'll definitely be of some value. It's important to understand, though, that AiDA is intended as an assistant, not a replacement for professional judgment, expertise, skepticism, or opinions. It aims to help professionals work more efficiently and effectively. So I'm going to take you through a demo of this a bit later. But I think the important and one of the most important things when it comes to implementing AiDA in your organization is you really need to understand how easily you can violate GDPR, CCPA, POPIA Act. The legal risks and the fines that could be imposed on you are quite severe. I think most AIs in its current forms, especially the free versions, they fail to protect user uploaded data. They allow AI models to train on personal data without explicit consent. They don't notify users of breaches in a timely manner. And the risks are real. We've got examples of companies which have been fined. For example, British Airways, there was a data exposure where an employee uploaded information to an insecure AI. It caused the leaking of 500,000 customer records, and subsequently they were fined about $26 million. Similarly, we've got McDonald's, where an employee uploaded personal information of job applicants. That happened quite recently. The fine has not yet been set, but it does appear that they are going to be fined. And it was all because they had an unsecured AI chatbot. If I put myself in an accountant's or auditor's space, your clerks have access to sensitive information. If you're doing an audit, they might request employee information. They might want to see what the AIs out there can do and upload that personal information. And all of a sudden, that information is up in the ether and AIs pounce on it. To be specific, there are companies out there that collect new clean data. That's their only prime purpose. They collect new clean data, and that data is then sold to AI companies to train new AI models. If I give you an example from personal experience, a year ago, I had a chat with an AI. I told it the size of my backyard. This was a year ago. The other day, I needed those measurements again to see if a robotic lawnmower was practical for me. And I just decided, let me ask it if it remembered the size of my backyard. It remembered all the dimensions and it gave it back to me. That really scared me. So it's important at this point, I want to emphasize that anything you put online is there forever. And I'm pretty sure my data is there, and my personal information is now going to be sold. So it's important that you have the proper legal risk covered before implementing AI in your organization. So I want to talk to you why, and this is exactly how AiDA has been built. It lets you retain control over your data. You avoid accidentally training other models because we don't save any of that information. And you reduce your risk to fines and reputational damage. So just to be more specific, because I think this is a key part of anybody considering implementing artificial intelligence in their environment, we will not train any models based off user inputs. We do not store any of those inputs. We are completely compliant. AiDA is completely compliant with GDPR, POPIA, CCPA, etc. The important part, I think, that you need to understand from our perspective is that with AiDA, you're able to unleash a controlled AI environment that's fully compliant in your firms or practices. It's data privacy by design. It's got professional specific guardrails, and there's a reduced risk of human error because the AI is quite intellectual and because of the models that we use that are quite intelligent. So you should get regulatory confidence if you do decide to use AiDA. So without any further ado, let's get into specific use cases that we are targeting with AiDA. So I'm going to switch now from presentation screen. We're going to start with, in your firm, you might be preparing an AFS, or you want to understand the entity, and you might receive documents from the client. So I'm going to switch to CaseWare working papers now. CaseWare, what I want you to notice, let me switch back. Okay, so what I want you to notice, under the cloud ribbon, on the top right, there's new logo. It's CaseWare AiDA. When you click it, it'll launch the chatbot on the right-hand side of the screen, and you can interact with it. Remember, I told you it is context sensitive. So I'm going to open up a set of financial statements. This is a publicly available set, so it's not, I don't risk exposing any sensitive information. And I'm going to quickly scroll through it. Oh, and I see some figures. Excellent. I'm going to quickly summarize this document. So what the approach we're taking is the approach of having guided prompts. Currently, we've only got summarized the document. We should be putting together a bigger list of guided prompts, which will come in future. Okay, but on screen, it's telling me now that the document is the 2024 annual financial statements for ShopRite Holdings, which is excellent. It understood the financials. And it goes into further detail, giving me some key points like revenue and the trading profit, etc. You might, at this stage, I was interested to know is why was 2023 restated? So I went straight in and asked it that question. Okay, and we've got our response back. So according to, we asked it why was 2023 restated, and it's telling me that they adopted IFRS 17 insurance contracts. Excellent. IFRS 17 insurance contract. I'm uncertain what that is. So I'm going to ask it, please explain the standard and why it required a restatement. Okay, here we go. And it's gone straight into IFRS 17. Insurance contract is a new accounting standard that replaces IFRS 4. And this really lets you understand your client a bit better. I'm going to stop here with this set of financial statements, which covers preparing your financial statements and understanding your entity. It really lets you query the financial statements. Anything that you see that's out of the ordinary, it lets you understand it better. Another part of preparing a set of financial statements, you might receive a PDF set of trial balance from your client. You have the ability to ask the AI, please extract me, I'm going to save time, I'm going to say the first 10 lines of the trial balance with a pipe delimiter. And just like that, it's gone and taken the PDF, looked at the first 10 lines. I've got now this copy functionality. I'm going to click the copy button. I'm going to quickly move you on to Excel, and I'm going to paste the information in Excel. If I wanted to import it then into CaseWare, I'm just going to delete the extra rows, and I can further clean this data by taking out the citations. So citations is a feature that we're still implementing. It'll let you jump to specific areas in the financial statements when you click on the citation. The citations will only work in the cloud and not in Working Papers desktop. And it's not that we didn't want to, it's just almost impossible to bring the latest features that are available in a desktop environment. But to sort this problem out, I can quickly data text to columns, change it to be a square bracket, click finish. Oh, I did something wrong. Let me do that again. Data text to columns, other, I clicked the wrong bracket type. Here we go, finish, get rid of that column, and there we go. We've got the data ready to be imported into CaseWare or any other environment. So from preparing your AFS and understanding the entity, we do believe there's a lot of value that can be created. We're not stopping there. We're seeing further use cases. So even if you're reviewing the AFSs, we're seeing certain benefits. If I go back to Working Papers and show you what I mean, I'm going to now open a set of financials that is not ShopRite. who's doing very well. This is a company also publicly listed that did not do very well. Ellie's, a lot of you all might have heard of them and they decline over the years. I kind of know what's in the set of financials. So I'm testing the AiDA. So I'm asking it, if you assess the cash flow statement, is there any risks areas for going concern? And I'm expecting a negative response here. When I did ask this question in the ShopRite set of financials, I did get a very positive response, but I think I wanted to show you what to expect. And here we go. It says that it's got non-productive debt from the past. The cash and cash equivalent has decreased from 8.9 to 3.6 million. The context also states that Ellie's is weighed down by non-productive debt. And this legacy debt has made it difficult to raise additional working capital. So I also want to point out at this point that it does give you a high-level overview. It does answer your questions, but you can still verify all of this information. Where we're going to get to, if you did the same thing in CaseWare Cloud, there'll be a citation here. You click on the citation and it'll jump to the relevant parts of the financial statements. That functionality is not available in desktop. So continuing on the trend of when you're reviewing the financial statements, you can ask it things like, is there any outliers from last year to this year? And based off the information provided, there's a few key outliers. Revenue has decreased, gross margin improved. However, in monetary terms, gross margin actually decreased. Operating expenses decreased compared to the prior, reflecting the impact of cost-saving initiatives, and the list goes on. I'm going to quickly switch back to the other PDF because I want to really show you how easy it is to switch between documents and to use AiDA in the software itself. So remember, you have the ability to clear the chats, which is what I'm doing now. And I think for the ShopRite one, what was a nice question that I did ask it that I do want to share with you, I asked it to compare to the other South African players in this industry, which is FMCG retail. How does the profitability relate? It's important to note that this is not connecting to the web. It's only using the data that it was originally trained on. It doesn't go and get data from live web searches. So at certain point in time, the model will be updated, and the data therein will also be updated. So here we go. It's answering the question. It's telling me that ShopRite reported a trading profit of 4.4%. And it went and told me what Pick n Pays was and what Woolworths was, which is excellent. So it lets you quickly understand where this entity is in relation to its competitors. Another interesting use case when reviewing the financials, I do want to take you through that. Here I've created a set of financial statements from Case View. I'm going to quickly go down to the balance sheet, as it often happens when you're doing a review. And I'm going to launch AiDA, and I'm going to ask it to do a recalculation. So please recalculate the statement of financial position, group 2024, non-current assets section, and tell me if the total is correct or not. Give me the recalculated total versus the total in the AFS. And this is one interesting part that I do want to bring to your attention. We've got two different models that you have access to in working papers and in AiDA. So this, at the moment, we're using AiDA Fast. And it's telling me that the total non-current assets reported in the statement of financial position is correct. I have intentionally made a mistake here. I know it is 1 rand off. Now I'm going to switch model to the advanced model. and I'm going to ask it the same question again. When we use this model, it tells us that the recalculated total for non-current assets is 799. In the financials, we've got 798. That means there's a difference of 1. The point I'm trying to make is that it really matters the types of model you use. We commit to always bringing you the latest and greatest models. I think we're still playing around and doing an assessment. Remember, we're in the early access phase, so we do want to provide you with the best models out there. But the model that you do use does influence the answer that you get back. Some models are a little bit more expensive than others, and because they use a little bit more compute to come back with the answers. So, but still a great use case. Ultimately, I do envisage a world where we'll be able to do full recalculations and casting, because it's something that's often done when you're reviewing. And I think from a review with other points that AiDA does do well, which I'm not going to do now because you'll probably use other models or other LLMs to do it, is you use it to draft content such as emails to clients, to raise issues or put the wording for the issues correctly, and or to draft management letter paragraphs. All that is possible now within the software without the risk of you exposing any of your client information. Lastly, I do need to, I get quite carried away with AiDA. I see so many use cases for it. I think I'm not going to go through the planning, risk, and assessment. You see this prompts on screen. We're making AiDA available to anybody that wants to work with us as an early access. October, we'll do the final release. We want you to start implementing it in your environment, telling us what use cases it's working well with, what you'd like it to do that it's not doing well with. I think the last thing I want to do is show it to you in SE itself. So if we go to our CaseWare Cloud platform, it's not inherently on the CaseWare Cloud platform itself, but it is built into SE engagements. I'm opening up a client inquiries app at the moment. And just like that, AiDA is here. You have the exact same functionality. If I open up this set of financial statements again, and if I say summarize the document, just like that, it's summarized it. If I click on the citation, and this is the missing link on the desktop, the part that we're not going to be implementing and can't implement on desktop, it goes and the citations help you find where it gets the answer from in the set of financials. So when you click on it, it's automatically jumped and it's showing the nature of business paragraph and highlighting the part that it got the answer from. And it continuously does that through various parts of the document. So here it's navigated us to distribution to shareholders. I think in terms of roadmap, so we are in Q3 2025. We are ready to deploy AiDA for free for people that are willing to work with us. It can easily be deployed in your environment. You can give access to certain people in your company. You can be assured that there won't be hardly or no risk of data being exposed and other models being trained on your data, so you can make sure that it's implemented safely. And that's the point that we're at now, with looking to the longer term view to release it with our October release. In Q3, maybe early Q4, we still haven't finalized the date yet, we're going to be introducing the next feature in AiDA, which is called custom knowledge bases. Custom knowledge bases is going to enable you to upload any material that you think is relevant to your firm. So you could upload training material, ways of doing things. Like in our firm, we don't do file new from existing, we only update, or vice versa. How to do a roll forward. You can basically train the AI to give responses custom to how your firm works. So we're looking to test that with you as well as soon as it's available. But that's going to be a big improvement. And once we get to that point, we're still working out what's going to come early in next year. It's going to continuously evolve. Remember, we're right at the beginning stage, and we'd love for you to come on this journey with us. So if anybody's interested, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will make sure that you get early access. And with that, I want to wish you well, and thank you so much.